Guys, welcome to today's video. Today's video, I just want to go over about the match at Anfield that happened yesterday morning, my time. And it was the game against Newcastle at Anfield in the Premier League. It was just one of our best performances that I can remember for, maybe since December, maybe even the whole season, to be honest. I just think the way Wirtz played in that game, he did end up coming off at the end, yes, but he played outstandingly. He came off, I think, definitely a man of the match performance. Um, don't know who got man of the match actually, didn't really see, but I mean, Wirtz and Ekitike linking up for that first goal was amazing, albeit, we were 1-0 down at the time due to a Anthony Gordon goal. But other than that, Newcastle didn't really look that great. They had a shot by, was it Harvey Barnes? I think it was Harvey Barnes. He had a shot that hit the post. But it was a good performance, and the Konaté goal was deserved. Yeah, Harvey Barnes hit the post. Other than that, that could have been a second goal and we would have won 4-2. But even if that goal did go in and we won 4-2, it was still pretty dominant. Even though the scoreline reflects that it would have been a lot closer. But I think, Konaté's goal was deserved after he had to leave the squad due to personal reasons. Came back into the team and scored his first ever goal of the season, I think. Or yeah, first ever goal of the season, so congrats to him. Well deserved, especially after the time he's had. I think he lost a loved one. I actually don't know what had to leave for, but I think his family might have died from what I gathered from commentary. I only saw bits and parts of the game. I had to work at 9:30 in the game, so I only saw bits and bobs of the game. That goal by Ekitike with Wirtz linking up, Wirtz's run down that wing was beautiful. He cut back in, passed the ball into the box for Hugo Ekitike to score. Definitely a great goal. The way Wirtz just ran down that wing wasn't so good. And then Wirtz scored a goal of his own to make it 3-1. That he scored that in the 67th minute. That was he combined with Salah for that goal. That was an alright goal. I mean, it wasn't flashy, but yeah, I think it was a great performance. Nate sealed it with the fourth goal in late stoppage, 90 minutes plus 3 added minutes. An emotional goal as he returned to the starting lineup after his father passed away. Okay, so yeah, he lost his father, which, condolences to him, obviously. And for him to score a goal, I hope he, dedicated that goal to his father. I would imagine he would have. I would have if I was in his situation. There we go. I got. But yeah, I think it was a really great performance. I hope we carry performances like that into the Champions League and the FA Cup for that matter, and also the Premier League, obviously. But I think our focus should be on probably the Premier League, securing top four, and maybe winning the Champions League or going deep in the Champions League. Something, like a deep Champions League run, I'll be happy with. Um, I'll still be a little bit disappointed with our league form. You know, it's been poor from the start of the season. Well, actually, not really, because we had that decent run at the start of the season where we were top of the league. Um, you know, we were still signing players in July, August, that sort of time. Um, but yeah, yeah, I hope we can push on for a good league win, run, good Champions League run. Sorry, that's what I was trying to say. Or a maybe an FA Cup run. I mean, FA Cup, but some sort of trophy would be nice. If we get the FA Cup, I wouldn't complain. Um, and if we go deep in the Champions League, I wouldn't complain either. If we won the Champions League, I definitely won't be complaining. Maybe Slot sacrificed league form for Champions League, maybe. But I don't think you should sacrifice one tournament for another, right? Um, I know teams have done that in the past. Trying to think of which ones. Yeah, I can't remember. There's one club or team I'm thinking of that sacrificed one tournament for another. I just can't remember who it was. But anyway, every club's every top club's goal should be winning a treble like Man City did, you know? Like, they should be the standard, especially if you're Liverpool coming off a Premier League win. We should be aiming for, or a PSG winning the quadruple like last season, Like, that should be your focus and goal. I don't care if you're sacrificing this tournament for that tournament. You should be trying to win all four, as PSG did. Didn't they have a chance to win six? They made the final of Club World Cup. They six with the Super Cup. Like, it could have that would have been five, and then they had a chance to win the cup. Like, you should, in a Club World Cup cycle year, you should be aiming for six. SG could have done six, but anyway, yeah, I don't think we should be sacrificing league form for a Champions League or FA Cup and Carabao Cup for maybe those two for the Premier League. Yeah, because if you win the Premier League, you get that money, plus you qualify for the Champions League, you get that money. Yeah, it's lucrative, and it's probably more lucrative than the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. Because the FA Cup gets you into the Europa League. But anyway, you guys probably know that already anyway. But I think that Newcastle game was very good. I'd like us to continue that momentum, after the win against Karabag. Moving on to, I know who we have next. I can't remember. We have in the league. I get it. We have. Oh shit. We have Man City Super Bowl Monday. So if you want to watch, if you're taking time off to watch Super Bowl, wake up at 5:30 New Zealand time to watch Liverpool play against Man City, one of our biggest rivals. I'll do a match preview on that. That'll come up on this channel, so subscribe for that. Then we play Sunderland on that Thursday in the league, and then we have Brighton in the Premier League on Sunday. So those three games, I think we should beat Brighton. We should beat Sunderland, but they're actually doing really well this season, especially for a promoted uh, team coming from the Championship. So that game could be interesting. Man City, I'm not expecting a win. Maybe a draw, but if we get a win, it'd be 1-0. It'd be a boring, grinded out draw. So, yeah, I'll do a match preview on that. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to do a review on the Newcastle game. My reaction to it. I think it was a very good game. I'd like to continue that momentum, that type of performance into our next game, which, like I said, Man City. One of the biggest, one of the best teams in England in this era, I guess you could say. They did have a rough year last year with Rodri out with injury, and signing new players trying to fix that void that they have. But yeah, I'll do it. Like I said, I'll do a review, a preview on that game in the weekend. I think I'll do that. Thank you guys for watching today's video. I know it's late doing match reactions to the game against Newcastle, but I thought I should just make. I'm also going to have another video. We just announced a signing for who's going to join us in summer, so I'm going to do. I'm going to go make that video now, and yeah, so subscribe and turn on post notification bell so you don't miss that video or the Man City preview video. So thank you guys, and peace out.